The following is a presentation of the Vol Network. Closed captioning provided by the University of Tennessee full-time MBA program. Learn, transform, lead. It all starts here. This is Tennessee.
I want the whole city of Knoxville to know that it's football time in Tennessee.
A passion that knows no equal. The heart and soul of the Volunteer State.
Show me you want to run the football.
Handoff gets to the outside. Touchdown, Tennessee.
Wow.
For the next 60 minutes, you're tuned to Vol Network coverage of the Tennessee Volunteers.
Football rewards those who wear your opponent out psychologically and physically.
The most celebrated of traditions.
When you step on the field, there must be a sense of purpose.
The pass is going to be caught. Unbelievable catch. Bang, he goes down back at the 23-yard line.
Let's go. I've been waiting for this one.
Touchdown, Tennessee to pick Howard.
I want to win for you.
Welcome to the Butch Jones Show, hosted by Tennessee head football coach Butch Jones and the Vol Network's Bob Kessling. Brought to you by the Big Orange Debit Card, only from the official bank of the Vols, First Tennessee. By your local Ford dealer, Tennessee Saturdays, built Ford tough. By Dish, never miss a moment of Vol action. Catch the Vols on Dish, proud partner of Tennessee Athletics. By Farm Bureau Insurance, with agents in more communities than any other insurer, Tennessee turns to Farm Bureau Insurance, the official insurance of the Vols. Now, the Butch Jones Show.
This will be from the 48-yard line, a 58-yard field goal to try and tie the game. Kick on the way, it's going to be short, no good, and Tennessee has won in overtime. Tennessee has rallied from 2 touchdowns behind to score to tie the game, send it to overtime, and the Volunteers prevail in overtime, 45-42. Tennessee, for the second straight year, has knocked off South Carolina in a nail-biter. Final score from Williams-Brice Stadium, Tennessee 45, South Carolina 42.
Welcome to the Butch Jones Show. We celebrate 2 things today. 1, the big victory over South Carolina in overtime, and the fact we do our first show from the brand new Ray and Lucy Hand digital studio here in the Anderson Training Center. What a spectacular victory. What a spectacular facility here.
Just truly a great, great day, and thank you, Ray and Lucy Hand. You mean so much to our program, and not just football, but our entire athletic department, and great, great friends. And then our resiliency was rewarded last night, Bob.
One of the great wins, great comeback wins in Tennessee football history.
Well, a tremendous comeback. And when you look at it, and you look at some of the storylines, we made impactful plays at critical moments, 2 one-minute drives. One to end the first half, 1:16, and we drive the length of the field, and they were in man coverage. We hit a quarterback draw, and then the drive that will live forever, 1:12, 85 yards to go, no timeouts, and we went 9 plays with no timeouts. And again, I thought our coaches, our players did a great job of really executing that drill flawlessly.
Joshua Dobbs showed remarkable poise for a young man who hasn't played a lot of football this year under this type situation.
Well, he did, and he's the first player in Tennessee history. He's our first 300-100 guy, and that's 300 yards passing and 100 yards in a game by a quarterback. And we had some individuals really step up. Obviously, Josh Dobbs, but how about Jalen Hurd? Jalen stepped up. Alton Howard stepped up. Derek Barnett is really providing a force for us on the defensive end. He now has 14 tackles for loss. He tied his school record of a couple weeks ago of 3 sacks, a career record. So again, we have individuals stepping up, and then Aaron Medley, true freshman, on the road, and as you know, the elements, the wind conditions, and he steps up and hits a field goal in overtime.
But what a win for this team, what a win for this program.
Well, we needed it, and it's been a long time coming, and we talk about continuing to dig for that goal, just continue to focus on the process, and it was rewarded. And it's a great illustration to keep playing. This game will be a point that we'll look towards for many, many years to come, and all the great support, hundreds of people waiting here at the Anderson Training Center for us when we came back from South Carolina, the fans at the game, just a tremendous scene.
We'll talk more about this big win over South Carolina and take on a tour of the new Ray and Lucy Hand Digital Studio next here on The Butch Jones Show.
It's time to honor the Adidas Fall Scholar of the Week. This week we recognize Cody Blank. The junior is pursuing a degree in management with a collateral in international business.
Management is very vague and broad, and that's kind of how I wanted to do it, because I wasn't really sure if I wanted to do like finance or marketing or supply chain or anything like that. It opens up a lot of doors.
After studying abroad in London this past May, the Knoxville native decided he would like to work abroad after graduation.
Just going because I had the opportunity, and then once I was there, that's when it all hit me that, you know, I wanted to do something abroad and really be overseas. You know, the world is so big and there's so much to learn and so much to see. You know, being somewhere when we sat down and talked to some locals, and, you know, they didn't know anything about American football, and it was just, you know, it really opened my eyes.
Congratulations to this week's Fall Scholar of the Week, presented by Adidas, the official footwear and apparel provider of the Vols.
This is how the Vols pitch in.
As construction to the new Ray and Lucy Hand Digital Studio got underway, in came the equipment. And it just kept coming and coming and coming. With sustainability in the forefront of their minds, the staff of VFL Films pitched in and helped break down boxes, recycle packaging material, and keep their new real estate beautiful. Box by box, a pile of packaging soon became a bundle of recyclables, proving once again that good sports always recycle.
Pitch in and do your part to make Neyland Stadium a zero-waste facility. Sponsored by Eastman, Food City, and Waste Connections. Promote sustainability. At Tennessee, good sports always recycle.
The Ray and Lucy Hand Digital Studio is the home for digital media and 21st century broadcast.
The vision was ambitious and the timeline was ambitious. So that's where we've arrived at today. But I can't say enough about the team that I think we assembled, from the contractors to the vendors to the Mendenhalls and Burgers, all the people internally that invested of themselves to make this a hugely meaningful project.
This prime real estate is equipped with the latest technology, highlighted by dual Evertz Dreamcatcher instant replay units, the incredible imagery produced by Ikegami's HDK 95C cameras, and of course, the unmatched line by Ross Video, which includes expression graphics and the Acuity switcher.
What made this a little special and a little unique was the special real estate that we were able to capture within the athletics footprint. I think now, clearly, this says that broadcasting, content creation, storytelling is a priority at Tennessee. I think that should be a point of pride for all of us.
There is no doubt that this incredible space will not only turn heads in Knoxville, but will be an unrivaled teaching environment for generations to come.
It's about the people that came before, the people that are here occupying the responsibility now, and the people that'll follow. I think that's really at the core of all the technology and the glitz and the glamour, is all the people that we felt so strongly about having a responsibility to uphold the storytelling tradition of Tennessee.
It's a $10 million project. It took 18 months to complete. It's a beautiful facility, cutting edge, and puts Tennessee way ahead of a lot of other competitors in this marketplace.
Well, it does, and congratulations to Chris Fuller and everyone associated with making this a reality. We spoke about Ray and Lucy Hand as well, but you know, for us, it's another illustration of what's going on here at Tennessee. and everything is about the total development, the overall development of the student athlete. And what a great resource now where they can come in on set and really represent their personal brand, but also the great brand of the University of Tennessee. And again, everything is about recruiting and being able to take an individual to reach their full potential because they were a member at the University of Tennessee and a member of our proud football program.
And also the Vol Network has a proud tradition of having students at the University of Tennessee work on shows like this and other projects that move on in the profession. And this is going to give, in fact, a lot of folks behind the scenes right now, one day it will be at ESPN and CBS and these other places.
No question. You know, that's what it's all about, too, is the great people behind the scenes. And again, what a great resource, what a great tool. And I know ESPN, the SEC network, everyone involved can't wait to get here.
And so we're very proud of it, and a lot of people put in a lot of hard work. Link Hudson, Barry Rice, his entire staff, and it's just amazing the transition, and just when you look around this beautiful facility, it's pretty amazing.
It is amazing, and a very, very exciting day, and this will be a part of our program for many, many years to come.
Tennessee beats South Carolina in overtime, 45-42. We'll take you behind the scenes next here on the Butch Jones Show.
They chase him and dropping at the 21-yard line. Derek Barnett dives on the run, fires to the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee! Here they come and get him again back at the 40-yard line. Kick on the way. It's going to be short, no good. And Tennessee has won in overtime.
The Butch Jones Show is being brought to you by Verizon, America's largest and most reliable network. Verizon, official wireless provider of the Tennessee Volunteers. By UT Medical Center, Tennessee's hospital. UT Medical Center, wisdom for your life.
By the natural gas utilities and pipeline companies in Tennessee.
Natural gas.
And by Food City, the tailgating headquarters of Vol fans everywhere. Food City. Value every day.
All right, man, high alert. You got to be locked into that game focus, that game zone with everything that we're doing. And tonight, the white will not be denied. You got to find yourself. You got to dig deeper more than you've ever dug deeper before in your life. You understand?
Sir.
What?
Team makes 2-6 win.
It's embedded in you, know it. Got to take care of the football, man. High alert on special teams, too.
Play for make the breaks, one comes always score.
There's going to be, we got to make them spit the ball out, man. We got to make them spit the ball out. 3.
The first game breaks go against you, don't let up, put on more steam.
60 minutes, 70 minutes, it doesn't matter. 4.
Take our keepers, our quarterback, our lead, our ball game.
It's just toughness, man. Toughness. 5.
Ball, house, cover, block, cut, slice, pursuing, gang tackle, this is winning age.
Orange swarm. Orange swarm. Enforce penalties. Get some penalties, D-line. Get some penalties. 6.
Best team game, here's where the breaks are made.
High alert. 7.
Ready to fight South Carolina, keep it every 6 minutes.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
And, of course, that's the Tennessee locker room scene before the South Carolina game. But, Coach, we talked after the game, and you said even more emotional than that was a walkthrough. You took your team to the stadium in the morning Saturday. Talk about that experience.
Well, many things behind the scenes that people don't really get an opportunity to see. But if you watched us play the elements, it was cold, and everyone from Tennessee had short sleeves on. Only one person he's kind of grandfathered in is AJ. Just with some things in the past, and but we all had short sleeves, we were sleeveless. And again, that's that mentality that we spoke about. We had a walkthrough scheduled at the stadium. It was pouring down rain, it was cold, and we contemplated, do we cancel and just stay at the hotel? But we thought it was really important to really get our kids acclimated to the elements that they may be playing, and we walked out there and our kids embraced it. They took off their sweatshirts, even Jordan Williams took his shirt off, and it kind of set the temperament. Again, our theme going into this game was WIT, whatever it takes, and we had to dig deeper than we had ever done deeper before, and it was kind of the theme of the night.
And it worked, and Tennessee gets the overtime win. One of the players that had a huge game was Pig Howard. He had 5 catches, over 100 yards, his first 100-yard receiving game. And so he was a big key in Tennessee's victory. Rick Russo profiles Tennessee's wide receiver.
at the Georgia 31-yard line. Worley in the shotgun. Back to throw. Looks right. Sets up. Fires long for the end zone. The pass caught. Pig Howard, touchdown. What a throw by Worley to Pig Howard. Right down the middle of the field. Howard caught it at the goal line. Got hit. Held on. Touchdown Tennessee, and the Volunteers right back in it.
Alton Pig Howard last season was a playmaker for the Big Orange offense. That doesn't mean there wasn't room for him to grow this offseason.
He's a different player this season than he was last season in a lot of regards. Last season, just like all I'm learning the offense, kind of learning my expectations daily. Every day was new. I thought he hit his stride, mid-season last year and then kind of tailed off a little bit, and I think a lot of it was due just to, he put a lot on his plate last year. He didn't have the surrounding cast that he necessarily does this year to help him. He's not playing as many snaps this year on purpose to get the most out of him because he's a quick twitch, quick burst kind of player.
Just knowing what to see as far as defenses, communication. I just think taking care of the most important thing as far as film watching, knowing the why of each play, just in general, just getting a full grasp of the game. It helps you all around as a player.
Leadership ability comes from many different avenues in life, but for Pig, his leadership skills are derived from his experiences on the field.
He's played a lot of football here, so he leads in that way. They know that he knows what to expect going into a big game. And so during the week, just Pig telling them, listen, here's what you're in for, here's the environment, here's what's going to happen. So in those things, he's been a good leader, being able to go back on his experiences and let those guys know what it's about.
It's just going to certain games, I try to give them a heads up, if there's certain routes or certain things that may be going on due to play or in practice, I just talk to them on the side, let them know what can be best.
A lot of players have read General Neyland's game maxims before donning that power tee and heading out to compete with the best of the best on Shields-Watkins Field. And Pig understands the gravity of playing for such a prestigious school.
At the end of the day, a lot of people have came through here and played in Neyland, the Vol Walk, just the state of Tennessee in general, people see that power tee, it just means a lot nationwide.
For the Butch Jones Show, I'm Rick Russo.
Pig Howard's the key in the Tennessee win. Not only did he catch 5 passes for 109 yards, he also scored on a fly sweep. So he scored one of the touchdowns, and he's the leading receiver on this team. It's amazing just how quietly he goes about his business, but made a big impact in the South Carolina game.
Well, you just summed it up. He goes about his business very quietly, but he's making an impact, and he's very explosive. He's very dynamic with the ball in his hands, and very proud of him. We've really challenged him with his overall habits, the standards and expectations by which what it takes to play here at wide receiver U, the original wide receiver U. And he's really taken to Coach Z and his coaching, and he continues to progress. He's one of those individuals right now, Bob, that's getting better and better as the season continues to progress.
There is a maturity thing with Pig, as you can see it. Every day you can see him just getting more and more mature and being a leader on this team.
Well, you can see it, and it starts with rest and recovery, taking care of your body, doing a great job, and being an overall student athlete with his academics. So again, he's done a very, very good job to date.
He has, and Pig Howard had a big role in Tennessee's win over South Carolina. Now time for the Media Mash with Sarah Mitchell.
To start us off, let's first cover the Halloween Post, where Vol fans went trick-or-treating decked out in orange and white. Kids of Tennessee athletic staff had a chance to dress up and see their favorite athletes at Voloween. It was an enjoyable moment for Director of Ops Chris Bagnardi and his costume-dressed kids. Our own Vol football account tweeted this photo of a #1 fan dressed up like his favorites. We went to Instagram for this next photo. Thanks to all the Vol dads who raised their daughters as Tennessee fans. Donna sent this photo of her dad, which brought memories of growing up in our volunteer state. Kristen and her friend think fall is the perfect time to be part of Big Orange Country. Members of Team 118 went straight to social media to celebrate the overtime victory in South Carolina. It was certainly an SEC win to celebrate with selfies. The Vols have a bye week next week, but we'll still be looking for your best pictures to show on the next week's show of Media Match as Tennessee takes on Kentucky at home. Be sure to tag me in your best photos and videos at Sarah, UTK, and you might have a chance to be on the next week's show. Don't go away, we'll be right back.
Time now for Fueling Tennessee, presented by Humana, your health partner for life.
One of the most difficult parts of a grueling season is the ability to gain or maintain weight. With intense schedules that the players have, sometimes food is the last thing that they're thinking about. So that's where I pull out my bag of tricks. Hey, Clam. How's your weight? How's your weight? Doesn't have to be Halloween, Mike. This is every day for you. You live this. So I'm just making sure you're keeping your weight on, making, you know.
See that? I got broccoli.
Good. And that's right there. Is that much of your plate? Did it take up that much of your plate?
Yeah.
Okay.
As of right now, it did. This is a big protein.
Good. This is my teaching tool.
You ever lose weight?
I should.
Am I doing okay?
This is your lose weight one. Love it. You're my prize student tonight, Cortez. You're my prize student tonight. So sometimes all it takes is a friendly reminder to get the job done.
You know, Coach, sometimes you forget that during the course of a season, players do lose weight because they're practicing all the time and conditioning, working out. So keeping the weight on sometimes is hard for guys.
Well, that's part of our sports science department here at Tennessee, and Allison, as we all know, does a great job. And she has creative methods to get her messaging across. I'm just grateful to her because she allowed me to have a cheeseburger on the plane coming home last night.
She stays on you pretty good too, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does, and our players, and they respect what she has to say. And we monitor, we have a sports science department that meets every single week, including academics, and they discuss every player in our program. Things that are going on in their life, their overall development, their weight gain, academics. So again, that's part of investing in our greatest resource, which are our players.
And one of those players is Josh Malone. He's learning the ropes of Tennessee football as a freshman. Danny Kleppinger has a look at Tennessee's wide receiver.
Tennessee native Josh Malone caught his first touchdown pass against SEC rival Alabama last weekend. The freshman wide receiver is hitting his stride as UT hits their mid-season mark.
Worley back to throw. Quick slant complete. Josh Malone down to the 15-yard line, and that'll be another first down, a pickup of 11. And Malone, the big freshman from Gallatin, makes a big catch that time. Alabama showing blitz. Here they come. Dobbs back to throw.
It was pretty special. It was probably one of the memories I'll probably never forget. Scoring my first touchdown against Alabama.
Fire, end zone, touchdown Tennessee.
It was kind of weird because after I caught the ball, it was just like dead silence to me. It was like the world stopped, and then like slowly like everything started resuming, and I just hear the stadium going crazy. I couldn't see my parents, I couldn't hear them or nothing, but I just remember the stadium going crazy and celebrating with my teammates.
Brilliant pass as Malone able to get it. He gets his first touchdown in his Tennessee career, and Tennessee's on the board.
It's funny he scored that touchdown because at pregame meal, he looked over at me and all the other receivers had got up and left and were going and getting ready, and we were sitting there and it was quiet, and he looked over at me and goes, "Coach, you know I got a touchdown drought right now. I had however many games in high school where I scored a touchdown. I haven't scored a touchdown yet." And I go, "You know what, I guess I didn't even realize that." I go, "Let's change that tonight." He goes, "I'm with you."
Quick out, good Josh Malone up to midfield and gets down to the 47-yard line. It's a first down.
He's everything you're looking for physically from a wideout. The other part of it, football player-wise, he's a very smart kid. He's very conscientious. He's mature for his age. He loves football. It's been a huge uplift in recruiting for us, especially at that position, because other receivers look at that and say, hey, if five-star Josh Malone, who could have thrown a dart at anywhere he wanted to go to school and play receiver, chose to come back and help get wide receiver U back where it should be, I need to take a serious look at that place.
I'm honestly just grateful to be up here and just have this opportunity to be up here and be a Tennessee Vol, to be honest.
Homegrown product, and you can see him making strides every game.
Playmaker, competitor, and above all else, great character. And we always joke about it, never been in more of a recruiting battle never recruited an individual harder than Josh Malone. And very proud that he's a Tennessee Vol. Going to have a great, great career. He's helping us win. And Coach Z said it, he's mature, he needs football in his life, he's a very good student, been raised the right way by his parents, family person. And again, those are the type of individuals we have in our football program now.
Tennessee wide receiver Josh Malone. When we come back, we'll talk about CTT here on the Butch Jones Show.
Time out to check the stats. Brought to you by Dish.
When your program is known as Wide Receiver U, it's hard to crack the record book as a wide receiver. But that's just what Tennessee's Dante Stallworth did in November of 2001. Check the stats. Coming off a touchdown at Notre Dame, Stallworth had impressive back-to-back games against Memphis and Kentucky, hauling in 3 touchdowns in each of those 2 games. He followed that up with a 2-point conversion, punt return, and a touchdown catch against Vanderbilt. In 4 games, the California native scored 9 touchdowns and totaled 56 points.
Check the stats. Never miss a moment of Vol action. Watch live TV wherever you are. Learn more at dish.com/Vol. Catch the Vol on Dish.
The Butch Jones Show is being delivered by UPS. Let UPS put the power of logistics to work for you. Visit thenewlogistics.com. By Hyundai, proud supporter of college football and loyal fans everywhere. By Eastman Chemical Company, promoting sustainability. Remember, good sports always recycle. And by TRH Health Plans. We've got you covered. Get a rate quote online at trh.com or at your local Tennessee Farm Bureau office.
CTT, just catching the ball, making sure you have it, just like looking all the way in, tucking it, make sure the defender don't come behind you and swipe it, and then turning, getting straight upfield, don't wrap around, just knifing.
Don't be a pass catcher. Be a wide receiver. Go, 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 go.
We want to catch the ball, we want to tuck it, and then we want to turn up the field. If you get those out of order, if it's catch, turn, tuck, yeah, you might catch 6 out of 10, but you'll never catch 10 out of 10.
You know, coaching it each and every day, just talking about, CT and 10, it became a habit, and that's just our identity as a wide receiver.
Every yard, as we see, is so hard to get that we're going to catch, we're going to tuck, and we're going to turn directly up the field.
You don't take care of the ball, we don't win. That's why it's a big deal.
CTT, and they're doing a good job of catching the ball.
Well, they are, and it's an acronym that we use all the time, and it's a reference point. When you come to our practice, you hear CTT all the time. You catch the ball, you tuck it, you turn, and you always have to look to tuck. And if you watch our wideouts, you always see them look to tuck. And so you come to our practice, you'll see CTT. It'll be ringing in your head for a long time.
Ringing in your head right now is this victory over South Carolina. You got an open date. Kentucky comes to town in 2 weeks. Always great to have an open date after a win.
Well, it is. We'll go back. We'll fix our deficiencies. We'll work to be a better football team, but it's always great to correct your mistakes when you have a victory.
They remember what you do in November. They've been saying that around here for years, decades. Now suddenly you get this big win in November. Now you got 3 games left. A lot of things still ahead for this football team.
Everything is about finishing strong. We spoke to our football team on Friday that this storied football program has an 80% winning percentage in the month of November. And that's the standard, and that's the expectation here. We have 3 very good opponents coming in, and that's why we need to make Neyland Stadium electric, 102-455. We're going to need everyone with their great support, which they've shown all year long, to come out and support this football team.
I know you're awfully proud of this football team for its effort.
Well, I am. We have great character in our football program, and we're learning how to win. And we all know we're raising a football program, but it's defining moments like this that really elevate your football program, because this will be a reference point for many, many years to come.
Well, Coach, congratulations to you, the players, the staff, for just a big night for Tennessee football. Good one. Enjoy the open day. Get some work done. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
We will. Thanks, Bob.
Butch Jones, his comments as Tennessee beat South Carolina in overtime, 45-42. We'll show you highlights from the game next here on the Butch Jones Show.
Fans, join the Vol Network at Calhoun's on the River for Vol Calls. Talk Tennessee football with Butch Jones and the Vol Network's Bob Kessling every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Vol Calls, the official statewide coaches call-in show for UT Athletics.
Medley will kick it into the wind. And wherever you're listening in Big Orange Country, it's football time in Tennessee. Fires long left sideline, man wide open. Pass is going to be caught at the 30-yard line. Making a cut to the inside is Von Pearson, and finally taken down at the 19-yard line. Hand off tailback. Hurd breaks it to the outside. Stiff arm, out of bounds, inside the 10, down around the 7-yard line, and a penalty flag comes down. Hand around, Pig Howard trying to get to the corner. He's going to outrun everybody into the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Dobbs sets up, fires up in the middle. The pass complete down to the 30, down to the 25, and to the 22-yard line goes Pig Howard. Dobbs takes off up the middle. Touchdown, Tennessee. Kept it right up the middle for 7 yards. Looks, takes off running to the right. They chase him and drop him at the 21-yard line. Derek Barnett gets him. 4th down 4, Tennessee at the Carolina 37-yard line with 17 seconds to go. Dobbs going to take off, running up the middle, gets to the 30, gets to the 20, cuts back to the 10, to the 5, all the way for a Tennessee touchdown. Josh Dobbs goes 36 yards, and Tennessee takes the lead against South Carolina. Here they come, screen pass set up, Hurd catches, Hurd's going to be breaking a tackle to the 10, Hurd to the 5, touchdown Tennessee! What a run by Jalen Hurd! Being pressured, and he's going to be sacked back at the 9-yard line. Winds up a bullet down to the 10-yard line, that's complete to the 5, spinning down to the 3-yard line is Pig Howard. Dobbs, quarterback draw, into the end zone, touchdown Tennessee! Dobbs fires over the middle, complete up to the 35 to the 40, breaking a tackle, and that's going to be Pig Howard up to the 45-yard line. Dobbs on the run, fires to the end zone, touchdown Tennessee! Ashford waits for the snap, it's down, the kick on the way, and the kick spinning up and good. So Aaron Medley gives Tennessee the lead in overtime. Thompson back to throw, blitz, sacked, back at the 35-yard line. This time a 4-man front. Here they come and get him again back at the 40-yard line. Kick on the way. It's going to be short. No good. And Tennessee has won in overtime. And the Volunteers prevail in overtime 45-42.
Now joined by John Bryce of VolQuest.com. What a win. What a comeback. Really the greatest comeback in Tennessee history in the last 5 minutes of a game.
Yeah, just a remarkable display of resiliency. I thought that it was very interesting to hear the players talking about how they just talked to one another and had a lot of self-leadership on the sideline.
I thought it was amazing, too, the way Josh Dobbs rallied everybody, just pulled them together with 5 minutes to go in the game and said, we're going to win this thing. It
was extremely interesting to hear Jalen Reeves-Maben, a guy obviously on the defensive side of the ball, talking post-game about the confidence that Josh Dobbs instills on both sides of the football.
You know, everybody's talking about Dobbs and the comeback, but I think you got to give the defense some credit. They had to get some stops to get the ball back.
They did. They had to get some stops, and you can point to the overtime stop as obviously the decisive one. But late in regulation, Bob, to give Tennessee that one final shot to march 85 yards and force the overtime, I thought was on just a critical stand. South Carolina was only able to elapse about 20 seconds. Just really, really fundamentally sound play.
And it was, I guess, when you look at things, especially Tennessee's front four, and even Kurt Magid, you add him to that mix, they really kind of dominated the line of scrimmage in the last 5 minutes of the game in the overtime as well.
It was the key. Tennessee dominated both sides of the line of scrimmage in the last 5 minutes of the game and into overtime. I spoke with Kyler Kurbison in that janitor-sized closet of a media room at South Carolina afterwards, and he told me, we feel like we're the best conditioned team in America, and we feel like we can play as long as it ever takes.
Well, and you could kind of see it in the last couple of minutes. Tennessee had worn down South Carolina.
And you know, Bob, we saw signs of this a year ago. I thought last year against Georgia and South Carolina when Tennessee played its two best games, the Vols were the fresher team in both of those instances in the fourth quarter and late. And we saw that again Saturday night in Columbia.
Tennessee wins over the Gamecocks in overtime. We'll ask the coach next here on the Butch Jones Show.
It's time to announce the AutoZone player of the game. Get in the zone, AutoZone. In the zone for Tennessee was Josh Dobbs. The sophomore quarterback accounted for 5 total touchdowns, including 23 of 40 through the air for 301 yards and 2 passing touchdowns. Dobbs also rushed for a school record 166 yards. Congratulations to Josh Dobbs, our AutoZone Player of the Game, for the auto parts, accessories, and advice you need. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
The Butch Jones Show is being brought to you by Vol Network Home Entertainment. From Pat Summitt to Peyton Manning, Vol Network Home Entertainment has the greatest moments on DVD.
By Humana, over 50 years of experience in the healthcare industry. Humana, your partner in health.
By the natural gas utilities and pipeline companies in Tennessee.
Natural gas.
And by the Tennessee Education Lottery, proud to have raised over $3 billion for education programs in Tennessee. It's time now for Ask the Coach, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors, a proud corporate sponsor of the Vols. Visit them online at academy.com.
Welcome to Ask the Coach, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Today I'm joined by tight ends coach and special teams coach Mark Elder. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Coach Elder, your first question comes from Brad Watson. He wants to talk about the true freshman. He wants to know how the transition has been for Daniel and Ethan.
Yeah, they've had a great transition, and that's demonstrated obviously by the amount that they're playing here as true freshmen. One of the two has started every game for us so far this fall, and I really think a big part of their transition and being able to play early was due to the fact that they were able to come early, graduate high school early, and they were here all spring for us. So they've done a nice job as far as learning the offense, learning the standard of play, and competing to get better day in and day out.
And we have another fan question from Kurt Pinkins. He wants to know, what are your coaching philosophies and how do you get a player to buy into those ideals?
My coaching philosophy really is to be demanding without being demeaning. As far as to get the most out of a player, you have to demand that they're going to play with great effort, technique, and do those things, but do those things with as much positive reinforcement as possible. I mean, not everything's going to be all positive and all smiles, but when you have an opportunity to point out the positive of a play, you certainly want to do that as well as point out the negative. So getting those guys to play as hard as they possibly can, a lot through encouragement and a lot through pushing them to be better.
If you could design your ideal tight end, what are the attributes that make a Tennessee tight end?
Sure, you need a lot of different aspects to be successful in our offense. You need to be a big physical guy that's long so that you can line up next to the tackle and do all the blocking schemes that we ask of you to do in that regard. You have to be athletic. We do a lot of what we call like an H-back position where you're off the ball and you're doing some pulling and things along those lines. And then you have to be very athletic, a good route runner, agile, and have good hands, because we'll flex you out as a receiver, run almost every single route that those receivers run. So you have to have a great skill set, a wide variety of skill sets to be successful in our offense. And we look for the complete tight end, the guys that can do all three of those things for us, so it's not a limited package when a certain guy's in the game.
Let's talk about Aaron Medley a little bit. What does Aaron bring to the table? What are some attributes and some great things about him that really make Tennessee a special team?
Aaron's a confident young man. He's a guy that, regardless of what his last kick was, whether he made it or missed it, he's moved on and he has a short memory. He believes in himself, and those things are extremely important to have as a kicker, as a specialist, because all eyes are on you. There's 11 guys on the field, but no one notices any of the other 10 guys. They notice what the kicker does. And so it's important to have that confidence and have the short memory to be able to go out the next play and put your best foot forward.
Well, Coach, thank you for your time, and thank you for the time that you put into this team. We appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
John, Coach Elder also heads up special teams, and they've done a terrific job covering punts and kickoffs all season.
Coverage units have been remarkable, Bob. I think in the last 4 games combined, including the South Carolina game, opponents have less than 5 total punt return yards. So just really remarkable coverage by those guys. And then South Carolina averaged, I think, 16 yards per kickoff return Saturday night. Never started one of those kickoff returns at the 25. Really key coverage.
Yeah, field position was so critical for the Tennessee in the win.
And Tennessee has done that more and more consistently here over the back 2/3 of the season.
So Tennessee is an open date. Kentucky coming to town. We'll take a look at that next here on the Butch Jones Show.
Time now for the Tennessee Top 5, brought to you by Hyundai.
at the Carolina 37-yard line with 17 seconds to go. Dobbs going to take off, running up the middle, gets to the 30, gets to the 20, cuts back to the 10, to the 5, all the way for a Tennessee touchdown. Back to throw. Here they come. Straight pass set up. Hurd catches. Hurd's going to be breaking a tackle to the 10. Hurd to the 5. Touchdown, Tennessee. Dobbs on the run. Fires to the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Jason Kroom. Ashford waits for the snap. It's down. The kick on the way, and the kick spinning up and good. Gives Tennessee the lead in overtime. Thompson back to throw. Bland sacked. See again. This time a four-man front. Here they come and get him again back at the 40-yard line.
It's time for the First Tennessee First Look, a scouting report and look ahead at the Vols' upcoming opponent. Brought to you by First Tennessee Bank, the official bank of the Vols.
Coming in next for Tennessee will be the Kentucky Wildcats in 2 weeks. Kentucky got off to a really good start, bogged down just a bit now, and they're fighting for a bowl bid too, John.
Absolutely, Bob. Lost 3 games in a row. They still have contests left with Georgia, Louisville, and then, of course, their visit here in mid-November to Tennessee. So a tough stretch for Kentucky remaining.
But this is an improved Kentucky football team.
Very much an improved Kentucky football team. A very veteran Kentucky defense led by Bud Dupree. I think they've got 7, 8 upperclassmen starting on defense, so they're doing a lot of good things.
All right, let's talk about Tennessee in the open date. A good chance to get Dobbs some more work, timing, and all those things. It really comes at a good time for this offense.
Yeah, build on the numbers that Josh Dobbs and Jalen Hurd were able to put up last night, Bob.
They're pretty spectacular, weren't they?
45 rushes for 291 yards, 6.5 yards per rush, really dynamic.
And I think you look at the confidence of this football team now with a comeback win, that really does it for you.
I really haven't seen confidence this high in a number of years. Not last year, even after the South Carolina win. Certainly not in several years before that, Bob.
So it's a big win for Tennessee. Now the Volunteers get an open date and take on Kentucky in 2 weeks. Check with your Vol Network station. As for the kickoff of the Tennessee-Kentucky game in 2 weeks. And we'll see you in 2 weeks right here on the Butch Jones Show. For John Bryce and Coach Jones, I'm Bob Kessling. Have a good weekend.
This has been a presentation of the Vol Network, produced by IMG, the world's premier sports, media, and entertainment company. Produced at the Huster Broadcast Center.